But the government don't even give a fuck about them or you or the immigrants or anything.
Everything because here's our land, here's our resources, here's our children.
So we're here at Invasion Day, really good talking with people. Everyone is very community oriented, helping each other out. A lot of water out here, a lot of different stalls, a lot of people talking, some really good speakers. There are two major converging issues at hand, one on an international stage and one here on the very land that we stand on. People are obviously emotional at what's happening to the Palestinian people in Gaza and the First Nations people and the owners of this land, who persist to this day with great strength, are in the midst of taking back their power. There's a lot of people that still believe in Australia Day or still want to continue Australia Day.
Baby steps. I think you have to understand what Australia is and what you're actually celebrating. And maybe we need to talk about treaty and justice before we talk about celebrating anything. I'm just wrapped that people are understanding, the connection or intersectionality of what's happening not just in Australia or Palestine, understanding this is an anti-colonial movement. It's not isolated little pockets of Palestine or West Papua, but like we were saying, you can see all the flags out here. Communities are coming together, understanding that they're not alone, but we stand together.
Groundhog Day in the background.
Oh yeah? You reckon that would be good?
Yeah, look, I just framed it one way, Groundhog Day and that.
I like that. There's another producer just coming out of the wild and just trying to help.
Our main mission is to free Palestine, basically. But in saying that, it all comes together against colonial powers because they're the ones putting our people, the free people, in the strife that they are. So the same goes for Aboriginals in Australia and many others around the world. We, being Muslims, majority in our crew, it's an important place to us, Palestine being the Holy Land, just like it is to the Jews, to the Christians. It's important to everyone. That's why it should be shared between everyone. Making a racist ethno-state does a disservice to the Holy Land, basically, and the way that we see it, God's watching and he sees what's happening. We're here every week, man, with rain or shine. We love so much the community taking us in as their own because we see the community as our own as well. We want to be one big family walking on the same path towards freedom for all people, man.
Doing it every year, except this is the first one for a long time. We come and do the Melbourne. We normally in Southern Warriors join other Aboriginal motorbikers and go to Canberra on a national level. But this year we wanted to particularly concentrate on our local communities and the issues that are at hand. And it's all about the Warriors and the significance and also the issues that have affected Aboriginal people here in Victoria going to get a treaty. No matter what the opposition says and the coalitions, it's all about doing it together.
Colonizers have poisoned water supplies. Even within the last 20 years, poison was put in sweet wine and left out. A particular type of wine that Aboriginal people in that area out in the desert were known to favour. Strychnine, I believe, was used for sheep farming or other cattle, livestock. So most of the time when we think about massacres occurring in Australia, it's usually this historical, maybe the 1800s or something. But we're talking the 1920s, and that was by the police and people basically deputised by the police. The idea of being Australian and loving Australia and being proud of Australia becomes quite difficult when you start looking into our history, because it's very hard to be proud of something that's based on so much murder and deceit. A lot of betrayal, you know, not a fair fight, you know, lots of sneaky, dodgy tactics that no one could be proud of. But I just think if you're going to love this place, like I would identify as someone who loves Australia, and I love it enough to be critical of it. Because it's like a person you love. If you love someone, you can tell them when they've done the wrong thing.
Exactly.
So why can't we criticise? You know, I feel like it's an act of love to be critical of Australia. I feel like the people who deny our history don't really love this place if they can't actually take it as a whole and actually appreciate the full breadth of what it means to exist here. When it's something interpretive that allows someone to be curious, it just sort of, it's not really telling anyone what to think. It's sort of just putting something out there, I suppose. I don't know. I guess it deals in more of an emotional language, which is not about, I mean, there's facts to back up all of this, but I mean, it's more about how it feels, I suppose.
Aboriginal rights doesn't just concern Aboriginal people. It's something that needs solidarity across different sectors of the colony.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. What do you have to say? Yeah.
Everyone has a place of belonging in the story of caring for country. We're not going to ask people to go back to the countries that they came from, you know. Like, we realise they call Australia home and that everyone can have a place of belonging here, but we just ask if people can come on that journey with us to respect First Nations birthrights, identities and culture. And a big part of that culture is, you know, not being greedy and destroying the land that you live on. And there's so many lessons to learn in that, and the old way systems that, you know, governed this country in, you know, peaceful and medicinal state of being. No one's got an excuse to be, the privileged, don't have an excuse to be miseducated or ignorant on who we are, what we stand for, and why we will continue to fight. Try and find somebody that holds culture wherever that is across Oz. Seek those people out and find them, because you'll find a much deeper, more intellectual understanding about who we are and how we are.
They wanted to turn us all white. My father's white, and I'm proud of that too, but when it comes to being an Aboriginal woman and a mother, fuck the system! Now dare you go into them hospitals and take them babies from their mother because they've got a history with drugs and alcohol that you brought here! Domestic violence that you brought here! DMA's here to support everybody, so if you're ever in that situation where you need support, go to court. Fight the fucking system, we are here! Thank you, my name is Tish, and I'm a proud Kukulog woman from the island of Masik, Kukulog Nation, Senative Kess, known as the Islands of the Torres Straits. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the Kulin Kinship. I honour the Black Matriarch, because the Black Matriarch birthed warriors. And today, we stand strong as warriors. Colonialism never went away. It has evolved, because every day the colony steals our land, steals our resources, steals our children, and steals our language and culture for what? For profits. linked to every system of oppression. Therefore, our solutions must be systemic and holistic. Our liberation is interconnected. Our freedom is intertwined. It's time to redesign all systems of oppression into systems of care.
And pretty obvious, stolen gain, stolen mines, and this and that, stolen country, and this and that, and desert custody, and so on. But there's also a silent death within the communities. A silent death is where unseen and unheard under the theme of intergenerational trauma. And since the white man stepped on this land, and the trauma is in the streets, and this is within alcohol, within drugs, within homelessness, without a foundation. But the government don't even give a fuck about them, or you, or the immigrants, or anything, but the multi-conglomerate. They're killing people all around the fucking world. And we're all sitting here, paying for the war, and you don't even know it. You're paying for the war over in Israel, every fucking thing. And all these Israelis, not personally, but the elitists, the ones that run the show, they're the ones funding all these wars here and there. You know, it's all about money. And that's all that money. You know what money means to me? I wipe my fucking ass on it. Run that in with a mud floor, with a king sack or me or a humpy, with a roof over your head, food in your belly, and a house full of fucking love. And that's all you fucking need. Oh, wonderful.
I want to talk to you about my son's coronial inquest. It was in September last year. We started with the belief and hope my son's brother Marley at the beginning of the week said, we maintain our belief in a system that can and must do better. We trust that the truth will emerge during the inquest. Steve's memory will serve as our inspiration, motivating us to fight for a more just and equitable society, where no one is above the law, not even the police. Stephen Lee was never told he was under arrest. Upon watching the body-worn camera footage of the final moments of my son's life for the first time for our family, the coroner has the audacity to say, I understand watching the footage is difficult, but commentary is unnecessary. My son's death was not an aberrational tragic event, but one that was entirely at peace with the way police have traditionally policed Indigenous communities. The only thing that's going to come out of my son's inquest is new tasers, new state-of-the-art tasers and retractable buttons for the Queensland Police. You're welcome. I bear witness with a broken heart to his desperate cries. Help me! Help me! Help me! You got me! You got me! You got me! Did you hear him say you got me? Yes! And yet they still didn't stop. I heard the officers get on the fucking ground while simultaneously holding up so he couldn't get down. Choke the cunt out. Choke him out. I know. His last words on this earth were, I know. Can you even imagine the fear? He knew he was about to die. Though his story has not been heard, I am not done talking. We are calling for the Prime Minister and Linda Burney to meet with the bereaved families. I want a complete ban of the use of chokeholds and neck restraints in the police force tactics. The country's shameful history continues to haunt the hearts, minds and the souls of our people as the inherent trauma echoes the divide that continues. There is a challenge for us all to rethink, reimagine, dismantle and then reconstruct our societies. It's an absolute disgrace that this country glorifies and celebrates the day that symbolises the beginning of 2 centuries of atrocities at the hand of the colony. It's not enough for us to merely survive. Future generations have an inherent right to grow in a fair and just world that sustains and celebrates our cultural differences rather than hell-bent on destroying them. Forever in our hearts, Stevie Lee, Illabuka Needly, Yuri Yuri, Yantal our way. The soul will not die. Peace be with you. One sweet day, all the children came back, the children came back.